Hi, welcome. I'm Britt Johnson.
And I'm Janet Anderson.
We were part of the DESE Moeford curriculum development team, and we're here today to talk to you just a little bit about what we did and how that can be used in the future. So the team was actually put together by Laura Beckman from DESE, and what Laura did is she got Tom Lowry and Terry Gardner together to be the facilitators of this group. The group was brought together to work on connecting the DESE and Moeford standards to the health behavior outcomes and the national outcomes through SHAPE. And the team consisted of myself, Sean Nevels, and Matt Kendrell, and we were kind of focusing more on the middle school, high school level, as well as Janet with Tyler Crawford and Kelly Fogelbach, who were kind of a little bit more in charge of the elementary side of things.
The MOSHAPE Model Curriculum Development document is there on the DESE website and the MOSHAPE website for you to use. And you're able to take the physical activity concepts and go through a process of that those concepts are able to match to the GLEs, the national standards, and through the learning activities, you're able to teach those concepts, have an assessment to match it. There's references provided on that document that will lead you to being able to effectively teach those skills to have an outcome of meeting the healthy behavior outcomes.
So there were several steps of how we got from the beginning of this all the way till this final document. So the first thing that we did is we found all of those MOSHAPE or DESE standards and we combined them into an Excel document. We listed literally every single one of them that was there. It's actually a really big number of them. So what we did is we divided these out into sections. The way that the MOSHAPE GLEs work is they each have little subtitles. So you've got your S1, your S2, your S3, your S4, S5 that each have overall contents to them. So inside of S2, you've got things, subcategories like locomotor activities, non-locomotor activities, manipulative activities, etc. So we took all of these and we created the 5 different areas. So those are the S1, S2 that I just mentioned. What we did then is we went back and we found the references that Janet was just talking about in various textbooks, in various journal articles, things along those lines that would help support why we were teaching those sorts of activities. And then inside of our different areas, we actually either created or used some of the activities that we already do in our classrooms. For example, I know a couple of them Janet uses in her school with her students.
Those lessons on some of those are examples that those lessons are provided. And those lessons will help meet all those concepts, and they meet the social and emotional needs of all of your students when you're trying to look at teaching your whole child.
So after we got the activities, the next big thing we had to do is we had to explain how to assess those. So the next column in the document talks about the assessments, and there are various ways to do that. So we talk about that in there. And then we connected them right back to the health behavior outcomes that are so important for all of our students.
Your end result. You're looking for that end result of where do you want your students to be at either the end of 2nd grade or the end of 6th grade or at the end of 9th grade. That's your end result. Okay, so when you're looking at these documents, other parts to this is actual units of lesson plans for you to use. To help get you started when you're trying to meet the needs of your students. And there's different areas. There's an example in K2 for traveling. There were 6 lessons provided, starting with introduction all the way to an assessment. In grades 3 through 5, the focus area that was chosen to provide for you was throwing and catching, and there's 5 lesson plans provided. In grades 6 through 8 was outdoor adventure, and there's 6 lessons provided. And in 9 through 12 is personal fitness, and there's 7 lessons provided for that. When these lesson plans were developed, there was also a great focus on the social and emotional needs of students, and being able to make certain that students are learning to work with others and cooperate and learn how to get along with others and play in safe environments.
So our goal here is that eventually we will provide you with lesson plans for every single GLE standard concept that's out there. That's going to take a little while because there are a lot of these that we had on here. However, we've started with these 4 units, one at each of the levels, to get you started, to get you an idea of what some of these should look like as you are progressing through your teachings. Mm-hmm. The ideal scenario and what we're trying for is to potentially use some of the colleges and universities in the state and get some of the actual teacher education students to write some of these lesson plans for us so that we can have samples of every single standard that we have. Mm-hmm. Here's how you might teach it in a lesson that might be used.
With an assessment.
With an assessment included in it. Yeah, the assessment was very important in how we did all this. Mm-hmm. The goal is not for you to just download all of these and use them exactly as they are written. The goal is more to give you ideas of types of things to do, how to do them, different assessments that you can use for each of these standards. So hopefully in the next several months to years, we can have one lesson plan for every single one of these standards that we have on here.
And as you're looking at these documents and you might feel like you're getting confused and you're not for sure where to go, that you're able to go back to that DESE website to find these documents. You can go back to MOSHAPE and look for these documents to help get you started, find other colleagues that can also help you get going in the right direction. And we appreciate you listening and hope get you started on using this DESE MOSHAPE model curriculum development. Thanks.
Thank you.